Hi everybody. So the first two vlogs are a little bit of a downer. I'm hoping to lighten the tone a little bit here. I want to talk about some of the things that I've used to cope with depression in the last year. Some of the things that have helped me and some of the things that have failed utterly. I'll start off with why I'm down here in the first place in the Credit River. It's funny, when I was in the mental ward at Credit Valley, we were having a depression workshop where everybody was talking about their symptoms and their journey with depression. And I know that sounds corny, journey with depression. I'm sorry, but that's about the best way I can put it. Every single one of us in that room had one thing in common. We all walked like madmen. Walking was the one thing I could find that would tamp my panic attacks down to any livable degree. And what I mean by walking, I mean by between 10 and 25 kilometers a day. This is basically what I've averaged over the last year. I find that about 5 kilometers into my walk, the panic will start to subside just slightly. It would get me to the point where I was livable and I could function throughout the day. But functioning throughout the day over the last year has not meant the same as functioning throughout the day over the previous 30 some odd years of my life. Functioning throughout the day for me meant survival. I'll give you one example of exactly how pathetic I've been over the last year. Making my kids lunches for school. My wife and I always try and do everything together. And over the last year, I have let her down time and time again. One of the biggest things, and actually one of the funniest things, which is why I'm sharing this, is the battle with our children's lunches. My wife has been unbelievably patient with me. She's never yelled at me about it. She's never nagged me about it because she has understood what I've been going through. However, over the last year, on approximately 55 separate occasions, I have sworn to my wife that I am going to try and start helping out more around the house. I wasn't working. I had the time, but I could never seem to find the time. And one of the things that I promised to help her with was going to be the kids' lunches. You have no idea how hard it is for a depressive person to try and put a lunch together for a 6 and a 7-year-old. Actually, at the time, 5 and 6. It takes approximately 4 minutes. And I'm not kidding. Over the course of a year, 55 times I promised to my wife I was going to get back on that horse and do it again. I'd do it for 1 day. I'd do it for 3 days. Sometimes I'd do it for a week. But in the end, at some point in time, it would seem impossible. And then I'd just stop doing it. And my wife would just pick up the torch for me. She never nagged me about it, as I've already said. And she was there for me. But for this entire year, I've been feeling like a guy that is so pathetic. I can't make a school lunch for a kid. Anybody that knows me knows that generally I've been a pretty hyper-functioning individual my entire life. However, this is what I've been reduced to in the last year. This, actually, vlog is the most work I've done in the last year. And it's the most focus I've been able to attribute to one thing. I'm proud of that, and I'm going to keep going forward. This, I hope today, is the start of me finally conquering that. I haven't had a panic attack in 2 days since I left the hospital. I've dealt with some anxiety, and I've dealt with some depression. But I get the feeling that I'm crawling up the hill a little bit. I hope I keep crawling. I hope I keep getting up that hill. And I hope I can meet you guys all at the top. Anybody else that needs help getting up that hill, reach out to me. Shoot me a text, shoot me a DM, shoot me a community message. Let's talk about some things you want to talk about.